welcome back to my channel, and today I'm bringing you the finale for Leave the Hive in 25. This is a Fantastic Ladies collab project, and it was created by Deb B, who'll have linked down below, as well as a link to the Fantastic Ladies Facebook page and the master list of everyone who has joined in with this project. Just a quick reminder, this project had 2 parts to it. Well, technically 3 parts to it. Part 1 is that you work on 25 makeup, beauty or skincare items throughout 2025. Part 2 of it is if you don't complete these items in that time period, you should declutter them. However, Deb B has said that that part of the project is not a stickler. It is not a hard line. You can choose to keep the items if you don't finish them, which hint hint, that is what I'm going to be doing. The third part, or the second part, depending on how you look at the first section of the project, is actually about decluttering 25 items from your house every update. I did participate in this section of the project right up until the month of May. However, it was not something that I could easily, sustainably continue doing throughout the year, so I haven't done so since then. So we're not going to be discussing any declutter items today. However, I am going to run through all items that were still in this project coming into this finale. And I've actually decided that I'm just going to run through it from item number 1 on my list down to item 25. I'm going to note whether I've touched it, whether it's been completed, where it sits in the scale of usage. And we are going to wrap this bad boy up for the year. So let's jump in with product number 1, and that is this nail polish remover pads. There were not 50 in here when I rolled it into the project. In fact, there was only a handful of them left. As you can see, I have completely used them up now. I used these 2 times since the last update for a total of 3 uses, and this item has been completed. Then we have the Sinful Colors Quick Dry Top Coat. I have used this once since the last update and once actually throughout this whole entire project. It obviously looks like there is product still in here, and technically there is. However, it has gone like completely goopy. It's dry. It's just not really doing what it's meant to be doing. So I have decided to call this one complete. It is still only the dregs of the product left, and at this point I'm happy to say that this is done. So I've used this once for this total project, but this is being classed as a success and a completed product. You'll see all the information coming up for these items over here while I'm discussing them. The same actually goes for this CR polish in black that I had in this project. I'm wondering if you can see, can you see kind of here on the side here, just in there, where it's all dried up and gooky? If you look in here, I wonder if it will do it. A little bit just there. You can kind of see spots inside where there's no product. It's actually because it is kind of dried up in here, and this product isn't the best polish as it was, so I could have gone and purchased some thinner and thinned it out a bit and revitalized it, I guess. But it already took a very long time to dry, and it really like chipped and come off quite easily as it was. And adding thinner would have just corrupted the formula even further. So I've also decided, after one use, which you would have seen me use this on my Instagram, which I'll have linked down below, because I use this as one of my weekly nail polishes. So I've used it once throughout this project, and I'm happy to see this one leaving my collection, and I'm actually going to class this as an empty and a success as well. Then we have the Juicy Couture perfume. I don't have that with me anymore because I completed that back at update 3. Then we have this tub of Epsom salts. So there really isn't that much left, and I actually didn't touch this at all this year. That's why there is a layer of dust on top of this container. And that is actually probably because I found another box of Epsom salts in my laundry, and I've been using that instead of getting this one out of my beauty collection. So that was silly, but this one will be hanging around for a while longer. Then we have this Sunsilk Addictive Brilliant Shine Mousse. It is old and it is really, really, really runny. I don't know if you can see. You see how runny that is? I don't want to tip it too far. That's right up on the edge. But you see how watery and runny this is? It isn't really mousse-like. It still has a nice smell, and it is only a level 2 product. Or here it says 5 is normal. I don't know. I am considering decluttering this because it is really like wet and gross, and I've had short hair all year, sometimes much shorter than this, and I thought that would mean I would actively use this more, and I haven't even touched it. So I'm not really sure if this is worth keeping in my collection. Let me know down in the comments. Has this product completely changed? Should I look at decluttering it? And then I have the Dermal Heal Balm. I actually did not use this product at all this year as well, which I'm actually really surprised about because I had this plan of using this, and I definitely need it because I have rough, dry, cracked feet, and yet I did not touch it. So I need to reconsider how I was planning to incorporate it into my routine and see if there is another way to incorporate this that I will actually be able to achieve. And it's a similar story for this Sunken Lavender Hand and Nail Cream. I did actually use this one twice since the last update, and for a total of 3 uses. But similar to that Dermal Heal Balm, I had, I guess, a plan of how I was planning to incorporate it into my routine, and that is not what happened. Then we have the Australian Vitamin E Skin Repair Cream. This is by GM, and it is still completely full. I did not use this even once throughout the year. I'm not great at moisturizing, though I definitely could benefit from incorporating it into my routine. Then I also have this Franken Chrome Moisturizer. This was a product that had dried up. The jelly highlighter had dried up, so I added a heap of moisturizer in here and kind of made a Franken product. It is just a nice moisturizer that then leaves your skin with a bit of this golden shine, which is really nice. But I guess I just haven't had the place to wear this. That extra sparkly golden skin is probably not something I have considered incorporating into my everyday look. But maybe I need to consider doing that if I wish to actually finish this product up. I do not know if this project is overly successful because I have a Anko product here, another product here. This is a Leave On Night Mask, And I also did not touch this one at all throughout the 12-month period. And there's really not that much left in here. So if I did buckle down, I could definitely finish this up relatively quickly. So that is not good. Then we have the Garnier Micellar Rose Water. I did finish this one back in update 2, so that one was a success. Then we have the I Heart Revolution Sugar Lip Scrub. And I actually don't have very much left in here. So as you can see, I have hit the bottom of the jar since starting this project. So definitely probably another 8 to 10 uses, and I would be able to have this one completely used up. I do enjoy this product. However, I'm not a huge fan of the tub formula for a lip scrub. I think I prefer those e.l.f. they look like lip balms, but they're lip scrubs. I think I prefer that over a tub that you have to dip your finger into and get a heap of product out of. Then we have the Banana Boat Face Tinted Sunscreen. I've only used this one twice throughout the year, and most likely by now the sunscreen component of this product has probably expired. But I feel it is a waste to throw it out, but really... Oh yeah, expires in 2022. We are now in 2025. This is likely expired. I really should consider decluttering this item as well. So we currently have 2 items on the chopping block. Let's see if they actually end up in my end of year declutters. Then we have the La Roche-Posay. This is a BB cream. We were up here at the last update. Now we are down to here. And I have had quite a lot of use out of this product. In fact, I am wearing this product today. In fact, I've used it 21 times since the last update. But we still have a bit to go until this one is completely done and out of my collection. Then we have the 2 face primers. I have in general used these I Heart Revolution primers in tandem, but let's first discuss the I Heart Revolution Mint Choc Chip color correcting primer. So there really isn't that much left in this packaging, as you can see by the weight. I've used this 17 times since the last update, and I am pleased that though it is not out this year, it will definitely be out of my collection next year. And as I said, the same can be said for the I Heart Revolution Banana Split Radiance Primer. I've used this one 15 times since the last update, and though the weight isn't as low as the green one, it is definitely getting down there. I am very pleased to say that I have finished the Mod Brow Gel. I don't think you can see how much little is left in here, but I will take another picture which you'll see coming up here on the screen that will show you all the windowing I can see in here. I used this 27 times since the last update, and like I said, I'm so happy to finally have this one out of my collection. Then we have the Milani eyeshadow primer. I am getting really low in this product. I don't think there are too many uses left, but it is still kicking. I've used it 36 times since the last update, and I really enjoy this product. It is very much a good primer to have. Back in update 2, I also finished the Emco Beauty Hydrate and Glow Mist. And then in update 3, I finished up the Essence Let's Get It Started Lip Base. Then we have the Sephora Lip Sleeping Mask, and I actually haven't used this at all since the last update. In fact, I actually forgot this was part of this project. But back in update 2, I did finish the Nivea Pearly Shine Lip Balm. But before I get down to my last item, I did realise I skipped the Mecca Cosmetica sunscreen. And looking at the back here, this one actually expires next year. So I really do need to use this one up. And I haven't used it at all since the last update, but I did use it once throughout this project. So I do want to focus very heavily on this one over the coming summer period. And last but not least, we have the Body Shop lipstick in color Crush. This is the oldest lipstick in my collection, and I'm really happy with how much use I've had out of it throughout this year. I've actually used it 35 times since the last update. I've been using it as a cream blush. I don't have it on today, but that's what I've mainly been doing with it. So it is not a large amount of product that gets used every time, but usage is still usage. You'll see over here how much I've used up throughout this process. And I'm going to keep this in my collection and continue to use it as a cream blush. So that is all 25 items that I've been working on throughout the year as part of the Leave the Hive in 25 project pan. I really do enjoy this project. However, I have found that over the last couple years that I've been participating, I am kind of failing at it. Most of these items haven't even been touched, and I haven't even finished up half of the products that were in this project originally. Taking that into consideration, I'm not sure at this time if I will be participating again if they have a 2026 version of this project. But that's all I've got for you today. So I'm Verity. This was the finale for my Leave the Hive in 25 project pan. And now to the outro.